Hello, 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 hello. How you doing? Hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. It is Monday again. How did this week go by so fast? Why is this month almost over? I digress. It is still August, but like barely, for real, barely. Um, and today we have an amazing guest. So get butts in seats. Share, 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 share. Hello, hello, hello. Do you see me everywhere? Please comment and let me know where you see me. Can you see me? Can you hear me? And if you've never seen me or never heard me, hi. My name's Tenille, and I guide people through reclaiming their identity and designing a full life even after diagnosis. And here we are. Welcome, welcome to the show. We are getting happily healed all up in here. And today, our guest is going to help. Wait. I do want to say something first. I'm going to say it first and then I'm going to say it last because I need y'all to remember that this is happening. I am doing another masterclass. Did you know? Have you heard? Did anyone tell you? Because if they didn't tell you, if you don't know, now you know. Loopy. From illness to brilliance, how to rebuild your health, energy, and life. Vegan edition, which it will always be the vegan edition. We are up in here doing this one more again masterclass. Please register while you can. I really don't like it when you tell me that you missed registration, bippity boppity boopity. Just register early because I don't like that. It's really sad. And they're like, I wish I could have been there because you could have been there. Get in this room. If you are ready to actually thrive instead of just talking about it, we are doing the thing. September 2nd, a Wednesday, not my normal Tuesdays, but a Wednesday. And the 1st of September, like the first week of September is going to be a week that all the things are already happening. You know, people are back to school. You want to get back to your real, regular, schmegular, degular life and build for the next year. Stop letting this year pass you by. Did you realize the year's almost over? Are you aware? We got a few months left of this. 2026 is my year. What happened to that? Because we're about to be in 2027, y'all. So make sure you register. Link is everywhere to register. If you need, I do have plenty of time to send links out to you. Just inbox me. I'm free. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. Thanks for commenting. Okay. Now let's talk about our guest. Okay, you ready? I got a limited amount of time. Let's do this. Okay. Now, this guest, super unassuming. I try to, I want to be more active. I want to do things that the people are doing. I not joining a run club yet, but I was like, let me join a hiking situation. And I, being sun sensitive, joints do what they want. Sometimes I can walk long distances, sometimes I can't. Also, I don't know anyone in this town. I joined this group that's a hiking group, and I was like, I'm gonna be as social as I can be. And we know I'm awkward. Everybody knows I'm an awkward human. It's fine. But we went on this hike, and it was longer than I thought, harder than I thought. Everyone, at least 5 people were like, "You're wearing the wrong shoes." I was like, "Okay, awesome, thanks, amazing." But the silver lining of it all was that I met this incredible human. Okay, this woman has an aura about her, very calm, very subdued, but funny and very kind. So I was like, you know what? This person could be my people's. And lo and behold, I spoke to her and I was like, yep, people's on podcast immediately, expeditiously, let's do this. Because her vibe and her aura resonate with me. And I know that it's going to resonate with you. So please give a warm welcome to our friend, Tanisha. Woo!
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
Please, if you would, introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Yes. Well, thank you for that wonderful introduction. You're so kind. So hi everyone. I'm Tanisha Naughton. I am from New York, Long Island, and I am a stress relief coach. I'm a Qi Gong instructor. I'm helping people regulate their nervous system through movement, through breath work and meditation, and also a retreat host and somatic coach.
So first of all, you said a word that I have no idea what that is. I mean, I do now, but when you said that to me first, I was like, are we making up words? What's happening right now?
Not making up
I've never,
words.
I've never ever heard of that before. So, um, what is that? Please just let me know. Like, let the audience know what's going on because I literally was like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, when I said Qigong, right?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah. Yeah, so Qigong is an ancient Chinese practice over 1,000 of years. And with this practice, you do movement and you do breath work and you do meditation. And so it's helping you with pain, it's helping you with stress that's being held inside the body, also helps with anxiety and increasing your energy and sleep just through these simple movements that I walk through people or other people have been walked through by instructors.
Mhm. Okay, so when did you hear of this? Because literally, I question marks. I was like the meme or the gif of the guy like her. Like, what? How did you find that? Where did it come from?
Yeah, I feel that Qigong found me, honestly. But about a year and a half ago, someone had told me to get into Tai Chi, which is a different form, but they're kind of similar a little
Heard of
bit. A
that?
lot of people have heard of Tai Chi,
Yeah.
yeah, because I was going through a lot of body pains. And so they were like, just look it up on YouTube, YouTube University, I always like
Mm,
to say, and just find
mm,
some videos.
yeah.
And while I was doing that, I found some Qigong videos that they look similar, honestly. And so I started doing that to help me with some digestion issues. But it wasn't really until last year when I got into a really terrible car accident that I started searching for different ways to help me with healing because I couldn't do my normal workouts. I couldn't move my body the same. And I ended up finding someone who healed their body through Qigong after a car accident. And I applied for a scholarship and I won the scholarship, thankfully, and I got certified in it.
Oh wow. Okay. So you won a scholarship to be certified. That's really cool. I didn't know that. Okay.
Mhm.
So you were you in the wellness space already? Like you said.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the wellness space at all? Like what were you doing?
Yeah, that was honestly all my life. Technically, I've been in the wellness space. So I was a college Division II basketball athlete,
Get
and
it?
from yeah, yeah. we out here. But no. So and then while I was doing that, I decided to become a personal trainer. It was just easy, to be able to keep flowing and get some money through that space. And I'd say later on, I did that for a little bit more. And my mom, I'd say in 2016, 2017, she was diagnosed with having diabetes, but it was exasperated. So my mom, she went temporarily blind for a couple of hours and in a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and the medications weren't working. She was very loopy. And I was just tired of it. I was like, I don't know exactly what to do. But again, went to YouTube and I started finding, going down the rat hole of these different professionals who were helping people with these different diseases. And I saw someone who was talking about natural herbs, being vegan. And I decided to do that with my mom because I was eating meat at this time and she did too. But we started detoxing together, and lo and behold, I don't know, about a year and a half later, her doctor was like, she doesn't need medication. So that was my first, yeah, it was a blessing. That was my first real introduction into holistic wellness.
Mhm.
And now I'm like, oh, well, let me get trained and certified and becoming this holistic wellness coach just because I really like it. I'm the type of person, if I really like something, I'm gonna go real deep into the research and then I start implementing things. So my life experiences, I'd say, are how I've learned a lot of things, and then I get more knowledge after
Yeah.
that. So it's a very trial and error process. But yeah, after that, with her, I started making herbal teas. I started making homemade air fresheners that aren't toxic, and
Mhm.
I did a little bit of personal training and wellness coaching. So that was like the first start.
Okay. So this is pre-interview that you told me you were a social worker. Wait. I need to say one thing that you said that's ringing in my head before I forget to say it. You said it was trial and error. She looked it up on YouTube and then she
Mhm.
what? She applied it. She started doing it. She didn't just take the information and be like, oh, I know this thing. Let me tell everybody about this thing. I just know it. She literally put it into action. And that's the step that so many people are missing that is detrimental to your health, your family's health. She helped her mother heal from diabetes by learning some things from the internet and getting certified in personal like she actually put it into action. What are y'all doing? Put it into action. Okay. So, anyways, you said, well, in pre-interview, that you were in social work. So, how were you in social
Mhm.
work? Like, what? Where did that come from?
Yeah, my life, I've fallen into a lot of different things. So as I was working as a personal trainer, I had a client who knew that I was getting my master's in criminal justice. So I was looking for a job in that space, but I always knew that I'd be in some sort of counseling, even though I wasn't in the social work arena. Like I was looking at criminology, becoming like a juvenile counselor, stuff like that. So she had a sister-in-law who worked in foster care, and she was telling me like, hey, like just apply, because while I was a personal trainer, I also worked in shelters as a recreation
Mm,
assistant. Yeah, so that was I'd say like my first touch into that space.
yeah.
And then she told me about this interview. I went on the interview. They thankfully loved me, and then that brought me into working in foster care, in this space of social work.
Wow.
So yeah, yeah,
It
it
is such
was
a
interesting
tough,
jump.
tough industry. Like, how?
Hmm.
God bless you.
Hmm.
I do too. Because, like as much as I love people, I know that industry would wreck me.
Hmm.
Like, it's just
Yeah,
heartbreak. So
it was tough.
yeah. So how did you? So you were doing fitness,
Hmm.
and then also social work,
Correct.
and then how did we get out of that situation? Like, what led
Yeah,
you to do this?
you how you said it was tough. Social work drew me to burnout, which then drew me to depression, because it's a very high turnover rate job. And I started off as a caseworker. Within a year, I became a supervisor. And when you become a supervisor, yeah, you have to take care of four caseworkers, and they each have a caseload of about 10 to 12 families.
Ugh.
And every time someone leaves, I take on their caseload in addition to my managerial tasks that I have to do. And that became a lot for me, because I'm trying to take care of what they have going on, but now I'm going back and forth to court. Now I have to go do these family visits. And on top of that, I was working an overnight shift at my job to basically, like, if someone comes, if a kid gets placed into custody, like we might have to go meet them, or something crazy is going on at a foster home, and now we have to intervene. And so my sleep could be on and off because we had a beeper. Yes, a beeper, old school. That would
Isn't
go off as
that's crazy?
right. It would go off at, like, it could be 9 p.m., it could be 2 a.m., whatever. It wasn't every day, but the days, and not every time something happened, but when it did, it was like, oh man. And now I gotta go back to my regular shift the next day.
Mm,
So accumulation over time,
yeah.
I was losing it a little bit. And I remember specifically one day a client who had a mental health disorder, and she was saying something to me, and I remember I snapped. And that's not my demeanor at
Yeah.
all, at
Yeah.
all. And I was like, oh shit. And then I went to court, and I think I forgot the date or the time. I messed something up,
Mhm.
and I felt like crap. I came back, I was just crying. I wasn't sleeping as
Aw.
much. So it was everything, but I didn't know it was burnout because that wasn't a word that was discussed even in the mental health space back
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
And if it goes on for more than 2 weeks and you're not sleeping, that turns into depression. And I was like, wow, didn't know, was going through all that on top of a relationship that wasn't serving me. So I just thought, I got to get a new job. And that's what I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, I went into mental health consulting for New York City public schools. That was my next job, which was much lighter,
Yeah.
thankfully, because it's more removed from direct care. And yeah, that was the next step to get out of that situation. But it's not like I went to through therapy or anything of that nature. I literally just felt something was off. I unfortunately went through a downward spiral, and then I got back up on the higher horse with another job, and I started biking and getting into nature more.
Okay. So how long were you living like in that survival mode, or like was it like immediately you're like I need a new job, or it was gradual
No.
that?
No, it was definitely gradual, because people started seeing like you're not the same. I'm still chill, but I'm just a little bit more agitated. Things are getting to me a lot more. And I was like, yeah, now I'm starting to feel it. And my sleep, I'm only taking naps. I'm surviving off of naps. And then
Yeah.
crying, not no understanding what is happening with me at all. So it was, I would say, a good couple of weeks. And then I went away. I think actually at the time my grandma had passed. I had a lot of things
Oh
back to
no.
back going on. So I couldn't really fully pinpoint, but I knew my job was a big catalyst. And so
Mhm.
we were in South America, and that's when I had applied, I think, for the job, and then I got the new job for an interview. Came
Yeah.
back, did the interview, and I was like, okay, this is now going to be my new chapter. I left my place and I went back home. It was like starting everything all over again, but
Yeah.
in a better way for me.
Hmm. Um. Well, thank God you had the foresight to just change. People stay at jobs that are killing them all of
Yeah.
the time. Like
Hmm. For
chronic
sure.
stress kills. It literally is the number one killer. Hey guys, hey from Washington, hey from Miami, hey from Florida. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We got some intense stuff going on. Nettie says we all got a breaking point. I understand. Yep, yep, yeah, we
Yeah.
do. Okay, so now you get into the new position that's not social work, which you said it's a high turnover. Which like there should be some parameters. I think that there's like you can only be a social worker for so long or something because that's too much for a human being. Like
Yeah.
you got regular human stress, people dying in family and like doing regular, I don't know, people doing everything, and then you have the stress of social work. Social work is not an easy job by any means. So the fact that you put any kind of time in that kind of job, like I said, God bless you from head to toe. Could not be me. Um, but yeah, so you do social work, you go to the new job. So how are you feeling in the new job? Is it better? Is it how's it going?
Yeah, it's much better because the schedule is easier. It was also a new initiative at the time that the mayor's wife had created called Thrive NYC. So they were still learning how to implement this program. So there was a good amount of downtime, I would say, from where I came from. Like I was
Mm,
working 10-hour days sometimes at foster care. I literally was here maybe 9 to 5. It was very concrete working for the city.
yeah.
And so the first couple years was cool. But because it's a new program, there's always new changes that were happening. So it's like you got used to one thing and then you had to adapt very, very quickly into
Hmm.
things. So I feel though that that job was kind of preparing me a little bit for what I do now. And the reason why I
Mm,
say that, yeah, and I didn't like it too. I can be very honest. I didn't like what they were making us do because
yeah.
I don't really care to be speaking in front of a bunch of people. And what we had to do was stress reduction workshops for staff and for parents and bring in different resources for the kids and the schools. We were kind of like the bridging gap between therapy and resources for the school, and we brought them in. So that part was cool.
Look
Loved
at
it.
God.
Loved it.
Look at God.
Right.
Just
Right.
preparing you and you mad. You mad, but God's preparing you, you know? You're like, oh this
I'm mad
you're like,
because I'm shy. I'm shy when it comes to having to speak in front of people. So I'm like, oh, I'm sweating. I'm like, this is
oh.
terrible. And we're talking about stress. We're talking about stress, and I'm stressed. But every time
That's
my
so
supervisor's
funny.
like, yo, you're so good. Like you can't tell. I said, but I can. But
Yeah.
it's cool. It's whatever. And then so some workshops were a little bit more heavy, like talking about suicide ideation. That I would bring in somebody else to help me with that. And then we started bringing in meditation apps, and I wasn't studying meditation at this time. It wasn't a part of my practice, but it was the first full introduction to it. And then COVID happened. And during this time, we were deemed as emergency workers. And thankfully, we got to stay home for most of the time. But I was like, I don't know. I just started having this feeling again, like I don't really care for all these changes that are happening. It's too much. I don't like this job. My purpose feels bigger because now I'm starting to do more of the wellness stuff on the side. Like on the weekends, I would go to different vendor events, sell my stuff, train people, and that was really lighting me up. But this wasn't anymore. And administration can do a lot of things that's out of your control, and you just have to be this puppet. It's like, okay, like let me go with whatever you want me to do. And I thoroughly hate that, especially when you're wasting my time. When something can be an email instead of a meeting, it's like,
Yeah.
come on, son.
Hello. Talk about it.
You
Because
know,
that's
but
just corporate life is just like
yeah,
you want to irritate me and get on my nerves and waste my time. Okay, cool. That's
it was a lot.
yeah.
And I was slowly becoming learning about inner child stuff through my own self-discovery, my own work.
Mm,
And I feel that every time a big pivot happens in my life, I'm in a relationship that's not serving me either because that was
yeah.
going on too. This job was happening, and then COVID, you threw that on top of it. And I got COVID actually, and I was like, during this time, my job decided that I was placed on leave without pay because of the whole COVID situation. You had to either get the shot or not. give it a shot.
Oh,
And I was just deciding my options. So until I decided, I wasn't getting paid. So I'm like, okay, I have all this time. I thankfully have family who's in Georgia. I decided to drive to Georgia and just see what my life is gonna be like right now for 2 weeks. Enjoy a little vacation. That vacation ended up turning into me not going back to New York
gee.
without a plan. I didn't plan this. I was definitely moved because I'm someone who likes like very much structure, and I'm like, well, let me see what I'm going to do for work and all these different things. Didn't know anything. So that was a stress. That was a stressor.
Welcome to entrepreneurship, where we
That
don't
was
know what we're doing and we're just doing it anyways.
I threw myself into the fire, I
Yeah.
say. But thankfully, because I was starting the meditations and the journaling, it was kind of helping me. But I think when I came here, it slowed me down a lot. Georgia's very
Mhm.
different from New York.
Oh yes,
And
girl.
yeah,
I've lived in both
very
as well, and this is. I told people I moved to the bushes, so if you want to find me, I'm in a tree somewhere because like this is not New York. I'm
no.
from Brooklyn and I lived in Mount Vernon for a long time, and I thought Mount Vernon was like a little country. No, 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 no. Georgia, you hear the banjos in the distance. Like it's very much it's country over here.
Yeah, no, I like it though. Like I was telling someone this not too long ago. 7 minutes from where I live, there's a person who has a house and they have 5 donkeys.
Yes, yes, yes. On my
It's
morning walks
crazy.
when I first got here, you can hear roosters, you can hear chickens, you
Yeah.
can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
one of
my
my.
alarm clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you think so? Leaving those careers behind, that
Mhm.
type of stress. Do you think that people are just like living with chronic stress and not realizing it? Do you think they're like just accustomed to it? They're just
Yeah.
accustomed to functioning and not really understanding that stress is a problem that could, affect their bodies.
Absolutely. It's what I call the high functioning person. And that's who I work with a lot of are women, people who are just high functioning, think that they just have to keep moving on to the next thing, like I've done. They're living in survival mode inside of their body. And
Yeah.
it's just wake up, get the job done, make sure you try and eat something and function within your family or whatever your dynamic is, and then on to the next. It's always on to the next. It's
Yeah.
this very fast paced life. And so, time and time again, it's accumulation of stress in your body, but the body's showing you the pain. You're just not always realizing it. It could be back pain, it could be leg pain, constant headaches. Sometimes even with women's cycles, they think, oh, like this is just normal. Every month I'm going to go through this pain. No, it's a signal. Every time you're going through your menstrual cycle, it's detoxifying you of whatever has been going on from the previous month. So, how'd you show up last month in your mind, in your body, in your life? And those are the things that
Ooh.
people don't pay attention to. And those are things I had to learn to pay
Yeah.
attention to. Everything is a signal, but are you
Mhm.
listening?
Yes, I love that you talked about that. I don't feel like anybody's talked about that on the show. So, like, even when I went vegan, I was like, oh, is this what a period is supposed to be like? Because it was
Mhm.
just like pain and suffering before. I was like, what is going on? And like in my family, it runs that people have terrible periods. And I just was like,
Same.
before I
Mhm.
got mine, I was like, I don't want this. It's gonna be so bad because like literally my mother would be like doubled over in pain. Like she used to have to skip school when she was a kid. Like,
Mhm.
my cousins like laid out. And when I went vegan, it was just like, oh, she's like today. It's just a day. Like I just
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
so you said you're plant based, right?
So plant based, but I do have some fish now. I was vegan for about 7, 8, something like that years.
Okay.
And then in the past recent, actually, my body, I never fully believed in this whole intuitive eating, but it has, like I said, I go through trial and error. I will say
Yeah.
that again and again.
Yeah.
And within the past couple months, my body's just been calling for that. And I don't even care for fish. That's how I know it's intuitive. So it was just missing something. And so I incorporate that a little bit, but I don't eat chicken, turkey, beef, any of that. But yeah, so primarily my lifestyle is still pretty plant based. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Plant based. We love that for you. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying you could just
No,
eat
no, I love it for myself
meat.
too. I mean, I've been so long of the vegan lifestyle, so I still love it. I still support it. I'd say a good 75% of my meals are still that way anyway,
Okay.
but
I'll take
I've noticed too with my cycles, adding the fish, it's actually been really helpful with the iron aspect.
it.
So yeah, can't complain.
Yes. Okay. Well, if you ever want to talk about getting you back to vegan. It's fine. I can help. Like
It's cool. It's
even
cool.
that.
I was a vegan coach, so I know all the ways. It's all good. And that was one of my my trials for a little bit.
Lots of comments. Okay. We as women need to pay greater attention to our bodies. Amen. Body is intuitive. Wow, you are you listening? This is huge. Yeah, it is huge. I'm listening. I'm here. Value. Love that I am big on meditation and journaling. Would have never gotten out of my grief if not for that. Amen. I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
Value received. Walking in purpose. Hey, Strong Island, New York. See, you got people here. You got people.
Hey, Long Island.
Stress reduction. Sign me up. I mean, you can sign up. We have all her links in the description.
Come on.
So, but yeah. So let me see what Instagram. What you got? Yes, ma'am. Georgia is definitely different from New York. Amen. Amen. That's why we're here. Both of us didn't know we were gonna be here, and here we are. Amen. Okay, so you were talking about like the compound stress. So you got out of that stress. Even my last guest that I had on like 2 weeks ago was also talking about a relationship. People don't realize if your relationship is not serving you and you don't get out, that stress, that can also kill you. That can also kill you. They'll never put a hand on you, but the stress from the relationship itself could literally give you a heart attack. Yeah. So we're grateful. We're grateful you're here. Happy Monday. Thanks for being here. Okay. And so you are now in Georgia. Things are changing, okay? And did you ever have like physical effects of the stress? Like besides like you were talking about menstrual cycles, but like did you think like I could be sick from the stress that I'm under?
No, I didn't associate. I did not associate the stress with the pain. I just knew my body was feeling pain. That's it. So I was like, what is happening? That's all I kept saying. I'm like, why am I experiencing this? Because I had a frozen shoulder, low back pain, hip pain every time my cycle was coming, and I was vegan. So I'm like, I'm eating clean, I'm detoxing. What is going on with me? And every time I go to someone, like, you're so healthy. Yeah, I know, but something's still happening with me and that I can't pinpoint it. Knowing obviously that my money's being affected and I'm not in the situation that I'm comfortable being in. So I started going to natural. I mean, I've always had a couple of natural doctors, but I started going to acupuncturists, and I feel like that's really when things started being put together, pieces to the puzzle, where I was learning more about energy work, getting into chakras, started doing a little bit of yoga. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting because if anyone knows about the root chakra, that is your stability, that is your security. It's also at the base of your spine. Mm-hmm. That's where my lower back pain was going on. Mm-hmm. I'm like, interesting. Gut issues, right? Gut issues are your solar plexus, that sacral chakra, creativity, sensuality, confidence. It was something I was lacking. Self-love, self-trust. All these themes in my life I was experiencing and my body was taking it on, because if anyone knows, before it becomes physical, it's energetic. And that's what I was experiencing. It was like, okay, yeah, I might be burnt out. I might be having this inflammation from the stress, but it's manifesting as pain. But first and foremost, my mindset is negative. I'm not thinking positive at all. And these things are happening inside my body that I can't see per se, but the more and more I started getting work done, I was like, oh wow, acupuncture is helping. And she was also very spiritual. So my spiritual path and awakening, it was exasperated in Georgia. I think I was meditating like 3-4 times a day. Like I was looking for the peace. Okay. Journaling, shadow work.
I was looking for the peace.
Yo, I was doing the nasty work. Like there's a book, The Artist's Way, that I began, and I was like, wow, I'm learning how to re-love myself, take myself on solo dates again, and answering hard questions. And I'm like, I'm in here. I'm in the neck of it, while trying to build this business that I'm still figuring out, the steps.
Yeah. I'm proud of you. First of all, I'm proud of you. It's so interesting that you can, as just a human, as a woman, go on and help everyone around you. You help your mother get out of diabetes. You help children all over the place, families all over the place. And it didn't even occur to you like, oh, there's something going on with me. Like my stress from overextending myself to everyone else. Like even while you were helping your mother and like going on that journey with her, did it not occur to you at all? Like, oh, I'm in a bad place. I'm in a bad like.
No, because at that time I had the new job. So I was just in survival mode. If anyone's been in there, it's what I said. Like I am my client, I'm just in the heat of the moment of what's in front of me at this time. And what was in
Mm-hmm,
front of me is, oh, I have to help my mom get better.
mm-hmm,
And that's the only thing that was my focus. So I go to work, come home, do whatever needs to be done with her. I'm also it was also because I love that learning process. I'm learning how to make new vegan food. So it became also like an experience with my mom of like now I'm the caretaker, but it didn't feel so daunting. It was just scary.
yeah,
That's what it was. It was like, oh, can I lose? Is it a possibility I might lose my mom? Because my
right,
grandmother had diabetes. She passed away. I have a lot of family members who have it. So it really hit home. And I was like,
right,
okay, get into the mode. What can I do? How can I help this situation? That was it. And then
yeah,
when it was done, it was like, oh, I can breathe. And there were things that happened after. I did go through a lot of other body pains right after that. So if I put, doing the timeline now, like, oh yeah, this happened and then that happened. But in the heat, no,
yeah.
I
This
wasn't
is your
thinking about it.
hindsight. You need to get
Yeah.
it together. Tell us beforehand because it's crazy. So a comment said, "God bless you for your awareness," and that's a thing that
Oh, thank you.
so many people don't realize, especially like New York is hustle culture. Like it just
Mhm.
is like you
That
just
too.
women
Yeah.
are just we're taught to just like deal with it and move on, bring the people with us. Like it
Hmm.
is so important to gain awareness of where you're at. Like it's I always am like, if I'm busy, can't be sick. Don't got time to be sick. I'm busy. Like lupus can't catch me. Gotta go. Like that's just how my mindset has always been. And that's great, except for you get to really be aware of not even you have to, you get to. It's a privilege that you are getting these signs and symptoms before something major happens. Like you
Exactly.
don't need to wait until it's you're in the hospital bed. You're like, you know what? I really should have
Mhm.
stopped being stressed out the other day. Like this is a time for you to slow down and really listen to your body and really register what these aches and pains are telling you. It's not telling you to take some Tylenol. It's telling you
Right.
to recalculate what's going on in your brain and how
Mhm.
you treat your body.
Exactly.
Yes. So now you're here in Georgia. You start doing Qi Gong on a. When you were in Georgia, you were working like personal training and that kind of stuff before you started Qi Gong, right?
No, no, no. When I moved to Georgia, I was doing the wellness empowerment coaching, the vegan coaching. That's what
Okay, okay.
I was working to build it, but I did a little bit of part-time side jobs here and there, but that in itself was its own awakening because I think after July 2022, I didn't work. I was like, let me go all in my business after taking a business course.
She's brave, y'all. She's brave. Because
Just I'm like a pawn in the chess
yeah,
game. They moving me.
I love that. I love that so much. Literally, it making big changes like that is scary for anyone, but especially a New Yorker, especially someone new to somewhere. Like, I feel like I got moved here to Georgia to start this business. Like, I
Mhm.
had no intention. I wanted to ignore that lupus was happening and just blend into the people. Like, it just no one needs to know that I sometimes die a little bit and I'm in the hospital for months at a time. Like,
Mhm.
fine. Not only like coming here, but being forced to be away from my people who kept me really distracted and having like, just having a great time and like pretending everything's fine. So sometimes the isolation of coming to somewhere new, or I mean, even though you have
Mhm.
family here, but like it was a completely new environment. You just needed that. Like
Yeah,
the way you thrived, impressive. How do you is this one? I don't know. Boop,
appreciate
boop, boop. Yeah, all that. So we are grateful that you came here, and I want to make sure that I have so many more like questions outlined in my life because I want to
you.
talk about the car
Go for
accident,
it.
all the things, but I don't want to keep you here forever. So let's do
No.
like two more little questions, and then we'll have you tell the audience
Yeah,
really.
no worries. Yeah.
Okay. So the car accident now. Where were you at before the car accident happened? Like, mind, body, soul. Like, how were you feeling before that?
Terrible. Terrible. Yeah. 2024 to 2025 was probably the height of the burnout, the height of body pains that I was experiencing. Also very deep into the spiritual practices and trying to figure out ways to get more into my body, less in my head. So yeah, I was experiencing a lot of pain, and my business was not picking up. I thought I was going to do a retreat. The retreat didn't happen. People didn't sign up. It's like everything I tried in business didn't work.
Mm,
Also, had another relationship that it just didn't. It was it just didn't serve. It was like right wrong timing, right person
mm,
wrong time.
mhm,
And because I was going through all these different things in my life, I was like, I don't want to be with anyone. I just want to be alone. It was, I think, the mountaintop, like being at Mount Everest, the top of it, like ready to jump off.
mm,
And I had like a little bit of partnerships going on with gyms for my business, but nothing substantial to be like, I feel better. And I actually went back home for a little bit to work with someone who's in the wellness space. Didn't work out as amazing as I thought it would. And it was, I had all this credit card debt. Like
ooh,
life was really just kicking my ass. And
oh,
so in May of 2025, you know, I was just kind of going through the motions, honestly. I probably was walking around with some sort of depression,
mm,
probably,
mhm,
probably. Because it was just every day, wake up, try and do something, get knocked down, try again. And I was like, I don't know what to do. I was trying to apply for jobs at the time. Nothing was coming through. Because I was like, I'm done with business.
right.
Seriously. And that day, it was May 23rd, I believe, of 2025. And I went to a shelter to give back, to give them food. My friend made food for them, and we went to just serve it to them. And it was cool. Day was great. Coming back home, it was around nine something, and I went to go make a turn, and I got hit, and then the car spun around, and then I got hit again. Glass everywhere, and
Rude.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
crazy. Like, I got hit once. You got hit again? That's crazy.
because I think the universe was just like, you really need to wake up.
Right.
I don't
Snack,
think I was
snack,
going
little snack.
down. Yeah, I don't think I was going down the path that the universe, my ancestors, really wanted for me, despite what I wanted for myself. It wasn't about what I wanted.
Right.
You know,
Okay,
and
that's a word right there. Okay, that's a word. Like your plan versus God's plan might have nothing to do with each other, and just because you're getting pointed in a different direction does not
mhm,
mean that you like are wasting your time. All those lessons you learned from getting shut down and shut down and shut down and shut down gave you the resilience you need to actually be
mhm.
successful in business. So like you couldn't have gotten to where you're at without
Yeah,
going through all that other stuff.
no, no, yeah, absolutely not. No, because even the car accident was profound. It was. I didn't break a leg. The way the car looked versus how I walked away. The number one thing I was like, God's not done with me yet,
Mm,
because nothing was wrong on the external.
mm,
What was wrong was when I went to the hospital like the next day was internal. I had a lot of body pains. I had a lot of, I forget what they called it exactly, but there was different inflammation and different things that were out of alignment. So like
right.
my whole spine
Ooh,
was, I
ooh.
had C1 through C7, like crazy. My shoulder was bad. My neck, I could barely turn. Whiplash, of course, happened.
Yeah.
And so now I had to start this journey of physical therapy, taking care of myself, and relying on people too for help, which is not something, if you're a high functioning person, you don't really care to do.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I couldn't, car totaled, had to go through that whole experience. And I was just like, something else. This is something else I got to go through. And that took me into a whole different deep dark hole, like crying every day, because now I'm traumatized too from that
Yeah.
as well, right? So it's just another layer to the burnout, to what my body's feeling, what I'm facing. And yeah, that summer, that's when Qigong started coming into my life. I was in a course actually at that time, which was about healing. So I'm like, okay, let me do these things. If everyone knows, like Queen of Fu is Sacred Woman, that was the course that I was taking. So that is about healing and helping you get back mind, body, and soul
Yeah.
aligned. But it was a tough summer. 2025 was terrible.
This
It
is
was.
crazy. This is also recent. Listen,
Yeah.
I met her in real life. She looks mad strong and normal, and everything looks fine. So the fact that she almost got squished the other day is crazy.
Not the other day, but yes.
Um, so, but those are the things. Those are, like you,
Yeah.
if you don't sit down, the good Lord about to make you sit down. Okay, he's gonna be like, hey, I was talking to you. Sit down and figure this out. Like that. That is so true. I'm very sorry that that happened to you, but I'm so
It's
glad
okay.
that I took you here and then I got to meet you and you let me
Yeah.
walk around with you while I was complaining and wearing the wrong shoes. Like you guys are great. It was great. Great.
It was a fun time. Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. I got my shoes wet. It was gross, but I had a great time.
Look, you're gonna get hiking shoes now though. Now you
Exactly.
know.
Yes, I will not be. I will at least wear some real sneakers. That was treacherous. What was I doing? So, please, I'm gonna let us wrap this up. I would love you to let the audience know. Well, first of all, before we leave, if somebody missed this entire show, right, and they just walked in at the end and they're like, "What's going on?"
Mm.
What's one nugget, one thing that you could leave them with to have a great some advice, something that only you would know, or,
That's a good question.
y'all. I
Probably
don't
that.
know in advance. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Probably the like stress is not a badge of honor. Don't wear it like it is.
Another
If you're
t-shirt.
starting to feel it, yeah, if you're starting to feel it, do something about it. Talk to someone, do some movement, but don't just let it stay stagnant in your body.
That was good. That's real good. That is real good. Yeah, because I don't. The culture now is they want us all to be like super stressed and you can do it and hang on. Like
It's
no,
ghetto.
yes, stress, stress is ghetto. That's another t-shirt. Stress is ghetto. Someone remind me to make these t-shirts. Stress is ghetto. We don't like that. I don't like it. Yes, that's so good. All right, thank you so much for being here. Please let
Yeah.
everybody know where they
Thank
can
you.
follow you, reach out to you, wherever you're comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. So on Instagram, my handle is Phoenix Rising Doula with an underscore. Also on YouTube, you can find me there as well, where I'm posting some different Qi Gong videos that you can follow. Every Thursday, I have a virtual Qi Gong class for the stress reduction, stress relief. If you need more energy, definitely, I know you have the link, so you'll drop that
Yes,
below as well for people to join that. Help you with all the stress, your nervous system regulation. And then I also have one on one nervous system coaching that I do with people virtually as well. So you can find that. And I also have a podcast. So the Rebirth Sanctuary podcast, where I go in more depth about my story and everything that I've overcome and still learning and doing the trial and everything. So yeah, please, I'd love if you have any questions, just reach out to me and I'm happy to help.
yeah, everybody reach out. I'm gonna put all her links everywhere. You will be able to reach her. Click on her. I'm sure she's tagged in all the stuff. You can find her everywhere. I did do her class the other day. It was a little harder than I thought it was gonna be. I was like, why am I sweating? We are just standing here and breathing. Um, I couldn't be on camera because I had a lot of people around that didn't need to be on camera. But I like stepped away and did the class, and yeah, it was more challenging than I thought. I was confused. I was like, am I doing this wrong? Why? Like, it's weird.
Oh, yeah. It's just moving the body in different ways that it's not used to. And then the breathing part, just because we breathe every day doesn't mean that we're breathing correctly.
Mhm.
And so that can be very challenging for people when they step into the practice with me. And the meditation piece of just like staying still.
Oh,
How often are
killed
really
me.
people? Yeah, I did it I'll do it on a class. Sometimes I have people just standing there for like 5 minutes and I can see it, like the frustration, the uncomfortableness, but that's where the healing lies
Right.
because we don't want to sit still. I had to do it with myself. Like even a meditation practice, like just real quick, I started off with 2 minutes, then five, then 10, then 20. Now I can sit still for about a good 45 minutes, but you have to work your mind and your
Mhm.
body to get comfortable with the uncomfortableness.
Yeah. It legit. I was like, my brain was like, girl.
Mhm.
I was like, no, stay still. It was really hard. It's really hard. Well, thank you so
Yeah,
much
thank
for
you.
being here, making time, and like dealing with all of this hyperness and with
You're
your
good.
very
You're
calm
good.
and smooth. But y'all follow her everywhere. Thank you all for being here. I love you. From all the states and countries. Hey. Oh man, we had some good comments too. You can read them. You'll read them after. It's fine. But have a happily healed day, guys. Be safe. Take the stress off your plate. Let it out somewhere. Be in your body and don't just drive through it. You don't have to. It's not very, very, very essential for you to stretch yourself to death. It's not part of the job. So follow her and I everywhere. Be at the masterclass. The masterclass is gonna be lit. It's gonna be everything. Okay, so please be there. It's gonna be September 2nd, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever time it is where you live, and that flyer will be put. That link will be posted everywhere. Show up. We're gonna show out. Everyone who's ever been to a masterclass of mine, we have a great time. You think the podcast is fun? Just get yourself to a masterclass because we have a great time. So have a beautiful week. See you next week. Stay happily healed. Bye.